What's up sweetheart? What's popping? Ndakujoka uko fini kupeleke shopping. Nikudungisha hadi mademo anze kukopi. Nasikia wewe ni msupa di Jesus anakuaga mekunoki. Hala, that's my Holy Spirit talking. Turn up, kuja ni love me ni doki. Kukupenda sichoki, kwa roho ni toki. Achana Churchill, zake ni joking. Team Terga, zangu ni jogging. Achana Benz baby, ingia kwa vote. Unani jazz kama sana cheza saxophone. Unani rap ka MC anatumia microphone. Young gifted and Blackberry kama Vodafone. And you blow my eardrums like an earphone. Yeah, I'm feeling something.
Wanna do something for you, 'cause I'm feeling something for you. Wanna do something for you, 'cause I'm feeling something for you. I wanna do anything I want to do. It's a feeling for me and you. I wanna do anything I want to do. It's a feeling for me and you.
When it radius, middle diameter. Ndakujua nande mheart, check your thermometer. Octo niko on, top ka numerator. Marapu wako chini yangu ka denominators. Niliacha kugota man, kaujajua zangu skuzi zile za ma high five. Ka pentagon marapu wana sita. Ka hexagon mademu wanachora basa. Ka heptagon na represent number 8. Ka octagon mfuko kitita, banki koma mita. Zima kune madam, ka githeri na hita. Usijali juu ya bills, ni stima nitalipa. So, nasaka pepa, go kishtepa. Acha kuteta, wakapepeta. Mini Oscar, na we ni Lupita. So ni obvious, utanifuata. Nikipita, I'm feeling something. Pirana na katikati ya miguu nimebebea boxa pikana begi yangu wandogo na wanda kilo siku si ufinyana nails cut over daily sina kuoga ni fupi sana unangeuza pudi kila day unanichanganya na nina do si sura si nywele si figa si leg si toe si finger umeiva madam na si sifa uko na bragging rights unaweza ringa niko na banking rights new makes it figure time ya rap tone ilikuwa ga igi time ya octo ni ajiji why cause I'm fancy and stop asking me why cause I'm thirsty every time I look in your eyes your thighs you got this time to survive I'm feeling something
wanna do something for you 'cause I'm feeling something for you wanna do something for you 'cause I'm feeling something for you I wanna do 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 it's a feeling for me and you.
Oh, what a lovely song. I think we're going to play that song one more time when we go on break. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the show. I am your lovely host, Flo. Thank you for making me part of your day. We have so much to cover this afternoon. It's been a whole week of just... We're going to talk about the Olkalau election. How did UDA lose despite the aggressive campaign backed by money, government projects, political machinery, and allegations of intimidation and voter bribery? Also, did the results show that voters are actually becoming more politically discerning and the ballot cannot be simply bought? From there, we will dive into the broader question of political violence and intimidation. Nothing new here. What happens when people when the people accused of creating fear are rarely held accountable. 3, when we turn to the road to 2027, with the new political alliances emerging and figures like Edwin Sifuna beginning to position themselves nationally, what is the next election already beginning to look like? 4, we'll also follow the Albert Ojwang trial. Remember that? Where the evidence being presented in court continues to raise serious questions about police accountability and justice. 5, then the Ebola quarantine facility this whole issue is back again. A story that brings us back to the question of institutions, court orders, and consequences when government agencies appear to operate outside the legal boundaries. And finally, we take a break from politics, or at least we try to, because even the World Cup is political. Football may bring people together, but the sport always has been intertwined with identity, power, and geopolitics. There's a lot to unpack this afternoon. Let's look at what the Standard is saying. Bold titles. Murders. 8 years of grief. Finally, justice. I mean, this is an anomaly, it feels like. When do we ever see this? These are the murderers. 8 years of unanswered questions. Yesterday, Sharon Otieno's family finally heard the words they had been waiting for. Justice Cecilia Kithua convicted former Migori Governor Okoth Obado, his aide Michael Oyamo, and former Migori County Clerk Caspal Obiero of murdering the 26-year-old university student and her unborn son. She was pregnant. The court found Sharon's pregnancy sparked a calculated plot to silence her and protect political power. The verdict delivers long-awaited justice to a grieving family and sends hope in the fight against femicide. Music to our ears. The Nation says the same thing. Again, bold titles, cold-blooded killers. Finally, justice is being served. There is vindication for the victims, for the survivors. It says the same thing. A pregnant student was abducted, raped, and murdered in a forest in Homo Bay. Her body, alongside the 20-week-old fetus, was found the following day. Yesterday, after a 7-year high-profile trial, her lover, former Migori Governor Okoth Obado, his former aide, Michael Yamo, and ex-county employee Caspal Obiero were found guilty of killing the 26-year-old mother of 3. Wow, that is amazing. So, I present to you the overarching question of I'd say these are 6 topics that we're going to cover today. If a government can deploy money, projects, police, political machinery, but still cannot guarantee the vote, does that mean that Kenyan voters are finally beginning to understand the power of the ballot? I really do hope that is the case. Again, we have a lot to unpack in what happened in Olkalau, the aftermath. From the money, political machinery, allegations, intimidation, and violence. But what may be most significant is what the voters did with all of it. So let's take a short break and we'll be right back.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Our radio.
You see addicted, you got my body lifted. Girl, you're so gifted, I never should have ifed it. Don't believe I missed it, how did I not get this? Leave me so breathless, leave me so helpless. Shame on the pain that I feel is in your name. Yet again, I'll be floating like a KLM plane. My game should back this dame, but she's so against me like a kid in broccoli. Sorry, let me speak properly, but she bought to the bone, so she oughta know me. Slowly, I will approach these, stroke on my goatee, then introduce me. No need to blame it on the cause girl, I know you wanna get loose. In truth, I'm a real sweet dude, so this song is for you. I'm addicted to you.
Hey, I never saw it coming. Something about you that I just keep wanting. And I don't know what
Yes, my pretty mommy, or should I call you darling? Be my princess. Yes, my pretty mommy, or should I call you darling? Be my princess and I can be your prince charming. We can hold hands in the sands in Malawi. Then we set sails on our way to Diani. I take you where the weather is sunny and it's all on me, baby girl, don't bring no money. I got a chef if you ever feel hungry. Breakfast in bed, eyes red, late in the morning. Cass.
I never saw it coming. Something about you little just keep on it. And I don't know what else to say. I never ever felt this way. You got me so I know what this could be if you and me got along. In time you see that you need me. And oh, hey, I got you. No matter what we go through, we'll be cool. No matter what they say, you'll be my dude. Me plus you. Ooh, hey, I never saw it coming. Something about you that'll just keep on it. And I don't know what else to say. I never ever felt this way. You got me so
Welcome back. The producer today is on fire with the songs. My goodness. I think you need to stay around and listen to, so we just see what type of the other songs that she's going to play. I am thoroughly impressed. Now, let's get back to the serious issues. We were asking whether the Ol Kalou by-election has exposed a shift in behavior, voter behavior, whether citizens can accept what is offered to them politically and still make their own decision at the ballot. The question is, why did UDA lose Ol Kalou? Despite the appeared aggressive campaign to secure the constituency and influence public participation, I think what we can do is do a quick rundown. In case you've forgotten, which I don't think you would, what the campaign was accompanied by. You had the 10 billion Kenya shillings worth of projects pumped into this constituency, including 1.1 billion Kenya shillings in cash allocations, goodies such as gas, you had mattresses, you had shoes given to the women, you had blankets. There was even a train given to this county. There was a boat as well. So you had 1,000 police officers deployed to this, to Ol Kalou. You had goons as well deployed to impede the voting and opposition campaigns. Hooded masked men and some reportedly armed traveled in unmarked vehicles and missing or altered number plates. And we'll also talk about the allegations, or rather NTV journalists uncovering the election who were attacked and accosted at gunpoint by some of these men, and also dive deep into the footage appearing to show individuals distributing money to residents during the campaign events. What's interesting, the voters still voted. In fact, there's a video that I saw where the residents actually took matters into their own hands by searching police offices and inspecting police cars before allowing them near the polling stations. I mean, that was a beautiful sight to behold, that people understand that they have the power and they understand that they have the agency to actually make change. Now, can you believe all of this, the state machinery was used just to get 5,400 votes? I mean, I don't know what you think about that, but that's a bit of a sad sight to behold. But perhaps more importantly, the question is, will voters in other counties holding by elections also exercise the same political agency we witnessed in Ol Kalou? Because they have set a precedent. Or will the tactics of money, intimidation, political machinery prove more effective elsewhere? Following this loss, I love the Standard when the title was just whitewashed. Samuel got 35,000 votes against the 5,400 votes. Following the loss, Oscar Sudi accused voters in Kalau of betraying the efforts made by the government and reportedly said, "We even gave shoes to the women." I mean, that statement is revealing. This is my opinion. It reeks of such high levels of arrogance, as if they did the residents a favor for doing what the government should be doing in the first place with our money, right? These are public services funded by taxpayers. Public resources are not political property. Now, has this exposed the political model? Another question which I found quite interesting, tell me what you guys think, is, perhaps the voters can take the money, they can wear the shoes, they can take the gas, they can use the train, they can use the boats in a dam, not a river, and still vote for whoever they want. Tell me in the comments below. Now, KTN did an investigation into the voter payments. Let's just call it like it is. It is called a bribery. This influence did not just end with the result. So an investigation done by KTN raised questions on alleged payments made to residents. I mean, alleged just so that we don't get sued, but really we saw the footage of these individuals handing over cash to the residents. I mean, they're not even hiding anymore. And the residents actually reportedly received amounts ranging from 500 to 2,000. These are expensive residents. These are like, you can't just go and... I saw a video of the Boda riders being upset because they were given, what are they called? The jackets, the reflected jackets. And it's one of those things. It's evident what the politicians think of certain constituencies. They put them in tiers, like all Kalau will accept the gas and the train and the boats and the 500 to 2,000 Kenya shillings, and then in some constituencies they will just accept bread and soda or reflected jackets. But people are awakening to this, and now they traced where this money came from. It was the Polar Master Limited Company. That's where when the residents were receiving the money, that was the receipt basically. Now there was an attack on the NTV journalists. And this is when the election just unfolded. I think we saw the triumph of the people voting whomever they wanted. But the aftermath was that the political atmosphere also turned increasingly hostile. NTV journalist Bridget Ngana narrated how she and her team were attacked while covering the Kalau by-election. Now, the attackers attempted to steal her phone, although they were unsuccessful. One of her colleagues were accosted at gunpoint, and you can actually see this footage. She lost her phone, and some of her colleagues also were attacked were treated in hospital. And the NTV investigation later traced some of these vehicles. Some of them were linked to import and trade motor cars from Pakistan. A company I think you guys might be aware of. It's called Vipingo Industries, that's based in Kilifi. They make products such as Dola and cooking oil. And I think this is one of the things that we keep asking. Why has there been no arrest made when this information, when there's evidence, or rather at least an investigation done, when the evidence is in public domain and the state still does nothing? I mean, you have vehicle registration numbers being identified, yet no public statements have been made by NTSA regarding the vehicles linked to the incidents. You have individuals handing cash to the residents captured on camera. And one of the people that NTV actually uncovered, his name is Samuel Mugo, a police officer serving in Nyeri County's traffic department. What is this guy doing in Al Kalau? Why is he not freeing up the traffic in Nyeri, but handing over cash during a by-election? The other evidence that was found, that was investigated and uncovered by NTV, was that the former Laikipia County Assembly Speaker Patrick Biliha was captured handing out cash to residents during the election. Another MP was seen at Al Kalau during the elections. What is he doing there? Surrounding what is the involvement of political figures in such events? Plainclothes police officers were seen carrying firearms and tear gas canisters during the incidents in which the journalists were attacked. Now, the question is, where are the arrests? Where are the investigations? What I find very interesting is that, you know how the state can identify and arrest ordinary citizens. I mean, I'm talking about within hours when they're suspected of committing a crime. For instance, do you guys remember the incident in Chai restaurant in Westlands? This is very interesting. The gun that was allegedly in the possession of the thug during the robbery in Westlands was also found at the crime scene where the suspected thug was gunned down last week at Joska. His name is Ochieng. Now, it was later uncovered that the same firearm that this Ochieng had was registered under a judge in this country. Now, why does accountability move so slowly when the perpetrators are politically connected or involved? But when it comes to ordinary citizens, you're going to be found just through Instagram, allegedly social media, right? But you have the evidence in public domain, but nothing is done, let alone just investigations. I have noticed a pattern in regards to this goonism and lack of accountability. I have seen a pattern with some of the politicians, I won't say belonging to which party, but the repeated use of the argument that all politicians have goons. Have you guys come across that? Every time they are questioned, like, why isn't the state doing something about it? To me, my opinion is that it seems like a deflection. They always say, all politicians have goons. For example, in a church-led dialogue, Sakaja recently said, millions of disillusioned, disengaged youth, young people, we've seen them being misused locally by politicians, by my colleagues. Many times, even some of us are blamed. Mudavadi, in the same event with the church clergy, also called for dialogue to ease political tensions, called a truce, framing the situation as a conflict between the opposition and the majority party. Now, this is where I'm just like, hold on. I mean, let's take a second. Why are we calling dialogue and a truce when there's, again, enough evidence to identify and investigate those responsible for propagating political violence? What does the church clergy have to do with this? The churches have been attacked twice. The All Saints Cathedral and the other church that was in Kisumu where the Linda Mwananchi were holding the campaigns there. Twice. What is the church clergy going to do? I think they should also say the same thing. That there is evidence. We have identified vehicles. We have identified people, individuals. Why don't you do investigations? To me, it looks like deflection. Instead of saying all politicians have goons, that is not the question here. The question is, who is deploying them? Who is protecting them? And why are they not being arrested? I mean, to go back to this, 8 years, I'm glad that justice is being served. But after 8 years, you have this state that has, again, the evidence is in public domain, which actually means it leaves citizens to end up doing the investigations itself. or rather ourselves. Now, before the break, what we are going to delve into is, while the country deals with politics of today, the political class is already positioning itself for 2027. We're seeing new alliances forming, new candidates are emerging, and the question of who can appeal to a generation increasingly disconnected from traditional ethnic politics is becoming more important. What we will talk about is Edwin Sifuna's growing political profile and what it could mean for the next election. We will take a short break and continue with that conversation.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Kwa traffic bila AC una scroll tu malele IG niko na bed sita uko kwa bed sita squeezy sura yenyewe ID neza drive gari mkebe na steez meshi side ya njeve na trees na mkanga sana jisikia na navatai kana jisikia
Luku safi just honest Good certain mood lover Na keep time tukikutana Na make sure na come fast Good manners Good heavens Alafu good readers
Na kugaranti utani miss Na kugaranti utani miss Ukishajua mbona wote Wananita master ama daddy Nilizaliwa na hii Hizi streets jina yangu ID Inagonga kutoka faa kama Tai Chi 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 Kama Tai Chi Kama Tai Chi Nikidropa hawezi kwara Wanerukia nikaa imetupwa nyara Ukiangalia unaona tu msafara Kasi yafu unaizo tu ni Dallas Na hesabu bila itilafu Bila wasi, bila kafu Najituma navuna Kama kuna wax ya kusukuma na skuma Hizi streets hazitakangi madwanzi Kuna jam ya watu wanasaka ganji Na mayouth wanaasha tu mabangi Kulalia masikio tutakangi Skama utaget watu wa moshadha brother Apa karada Utadhania ni get rich quick kumbe zimedisappear ki abracadabra Wananita master ama daddy Nilizaliwa na hii Hizi streets jina yangu ID Inagonga kutoka faa kama Tai Chi 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 Kama Tai Chi Kama Tai Chi Wananita master ama my G Na awa ni side Hizi streets jina yangu ID Inagonga kutoka faa kama Tai Chi Inagonga kutoka faa kama Gonga kutoka faa kama Tai Chi Inagonga kutoka faa kama
This song goes out to wase wanapenda kupare wasichana tuhanye hare hare hare.
Yeah, kleptomaniacs. Let's go. Let's go.
Tuamke hare tukaruke hare tuchizike hare 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 tuamke hare tukaruke hare tuchizike hare 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 buweni hizo simamini na mashati uchi kwa Flozz buweni hizo simamini na mashati chizi samo wacheni niseme story ya hare na mashori mabale raba Johnny ziko kwa wingi na sasa twende nchini kiketo utaamini na kiri na mungiri de picto tumewasili. Lady, if you wanna scream hare fella tuhanyeni mpaka che, sing along now. Hare 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 tuamke
tuendele kupiga makelele, tuko wapi kengele, mamanzi hapo mbele, sura nzuri na nywele, tumeshikwa na nyege, saturuke sengenge, twende tuka segede, ati nini segede,
umeingia kani, mikono hewani, na pesa mfukoni, nyama kwa sahani, okota kahani, peleke gizani, mwambie wa mtamani, vipi hadharani, hey, hey, jamani, chezo kasarani, moto pale ndani, samahani.
Uweni hizo simamini na mashati uchi kwa floor. Uweni hizo simamini na mashati chizi samo. Wacheni niseme story ya hare na mashori, mabale raba Johnny, ziko kwa wingi na sasa twende chini, kiklepto utaamini, na kiri na munkiri de picto tumewasili.
Amke, tukaruke, tuchizike. Tuamke, 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 tukaruke, tuchizike.
Welcome back. Yo. The producer and I are actually talking about this next segment because it's so interesting how this man, Edwin Sifuna, is appearing to gain a lot of traction and seemingly from nowhere. Now, this is interesting. Uhuru Kenyatta appears to be mobilizing his political forces behind Sifuna ahead of the Western Kenya rallies happening this weekend. This happens after the Olkalau election, and where Jubilee suffered a significant blow in the Mount Kenya stronghold. I believe they got 198 votes. That's Jubilee. And Samuel got, obviously, by a landslide, 35,000 votes. And UDA got 5,400 votes. Now, I was just wondering why this is the case. Why Uhuru would actually back Edwin Sifuna, seeing as how Gachagua had taken such a hold through, obviously, Samuel with the 35,000 votes. Is it also a way to, rather, Gachagua had indicated that he would also be willing to shelve his 2027 presidential ambitions if, in doing so, would strengthen the opposition's chances of defeating the current government? That is so interesting. He also expressed admiration for the Linda Mwananchi. Now, I think what I find quite interesting is the political realignment ahead of the 2027 election. It's obviously taking shape. And you had Kakamega Senator Boni Kwala, how do you say this name? Kwalawale, there we go. He had also declared his support for Edwin Sifuna, describing this moment as Sifuna's Obama moment. Now, I'm sure you guys came across this where the Secretary General Francis Atwoli, this guy is still in government. He said Sifuna needs his support to mount a successful campaign, claiming that he would give him 1 billion Kenya shillings within a minute. Now, this is what Sifuna said. Let me read what he said verbatim. He said that he'd rather, Sifuna that is, he would rather be indebted to 10 million Kenyans because they gave him 10 bob each than to one person, that is Francis Atwoli, who gave him 1 billion shillings because that is where the corruption begins. I found that I support that statement. I think the people should decide whom they want to support in the campaigns. And thereafter, Kenyans contributed 2.21 million Kenya shillings within 36 hours to support Linda Mwananchi's campaigns. Now, just several hours ago, Sifuna tweeted that Safaricom had closed the Kenya's pay bills after getting orders from above. That's a direct translation from Swahili. And then 2 hours later, he tweeted on X saying that you guys get them or put pressure on them that the pay bill is back up. The question here is, what is driving Sifuna's growing appeal? One argument is that he has managed to build a political circle that appears to reflect a broader national identity rather than a single ethnic bloc. You know, in the past, you had the political class aligning themselves based off of tribes, tribal alliances. Sifuna has associated himself with young leaders such as Babu Owino, the controversial Babu Owino. People around him, including figures from different communities such as Kipagandi and Pauline Njoroge, who are from different tribes. Now, remember, I feel like this is a new age. This is a new epoch when it comes to the 2026 political atmosphere. I would strongly say that we are witnessing such a political consciousness that we have never witnessed before in the past, which means that many young people who have been frustrated, I'm frustrated. Are you frustrated? We're economically anxious. And in turn, the increasingly question, or rather we're actually questioning the traditional structures of power that are currently there. We feel like we're not listened to. Let's not forget what we did. We voted in Sakaja over Sifuna. And the reason why we voted in Sakaja is because of dimples. Interesting. Is it that sometimes we're incapable of recognizing good leadership when it's right in front of us? Are we used to suffering? Is that what it is? When you are given someone who is competent? This is not in regards to Sifuna, but I'm just saying, just based off of track record, what the current governor of Nairobi, has he fulfilled his promises in Nairobi? Things like floods, we've witnessed floods, which should not be an issue, considering how much tax we pay, the amount of revenue, domestic revenue they collect, the amount of debt we have incurred. Well, we've spoken very strongly. My opinion is that we do not need to borrow and that there is odious debt. And I digress. What I find interesting is whether it is Sifuna, whether it is Boneface Mungi, a young leader, young people want to see their aspirations reflected in the leader. And in this case, it could be Sifuna. Now, I mentioned that we are frustrated, but the young people's frustrations and political expectations have not been represented by the political class. It's like we're going at war. The state is at war with the citizens, with the young people. We're telling them we do not have jobs. But, I mean, it's a direct reflection of the rise of Gunism as well. Now, what I think maybe Sifuna's greatest political significance is that, and here's the question, who will give the young people a reason to vote? That has been an issue that we have faced, that young people are not registered or are not voting. But could it also be because they are not seeing themselves being represented in the political class and the issues being heard? Again, here's the question. Who will give the young people a reason to get up and stand up and wait in that line for hours to vote? Another question is, can Sifuna transform this growing momentum into a genuinely national political movement, or whether the political class will once again reduce a politician's identity to the community it comes from? Two questions. From the politics of the future, now returning to a case that has brought questions of police accountability and justice firmly back into the national conversation. This is something we experienced last year during the Finance Bill 2025. It is the Albert Ojwang trial. It continues, and the evidence being presented in court is forcing difficult questions about what happens inside our constitutions and law enforcement. Before we tackle that, we will take a very short break. We'll be right back.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Hello? Hello? Hey, niaje? Check it. Ni Sunguch. So, nimecall tu out of courtesy. Unaweza take your last selfies nini mapicha. Nimekupea hadi kesho kutwa. You need to get the fuck out of there. Yeah, I'm back. Simu yangu. Go tell the police he's back. He's back to business. Ha! I'm back to business. I'm back to business. I'm back to business. Kitungu tatu watini mbao buda. I'm back to business. I'm back to business. I'm back to business. I'm back to business. King Kaka. Mandizi kumi atini tao buda. I'm back to business. Nanta stop aje na red naiona kama green. Pockets ni fat jo vile back ina lean. Kwa Google awezi ni sat jo vile king nimejipin. Passport ni Kenya lakini stamps ni European. God ajabonga nani alikupromise tomorrow. Shingo empty kitambo saini silver na ogoro. Akitaka mita saine za rushia mkoro. Na dreams ni 24/7 na avoid kudoro. Kuna siku nilipata, siku niligadha. Siku ya kibanda, siku ganji ilikuwa na blada. But the weekend, man, I will miss Uganda. At the king, are you coming back? I will miss Uganda. I'm back to business. I'm back to business. I'm back to business. Kitungu tatu watini mbao buda. I'm back to business. I'm back to business. I'm back to business. I'm back to business. Mandizi kumi atini tao buda. I'm back to business. Nayo mbwangu hivyo atatumia 10k huda. Nilikuwa fast, nilikuwa furious, crew ya kina luda. Vision yangu I beat easy lungs of soda. That's the things I got, bana mateke ya punda. Hata Yesu alikuwa na haters. Oya mnani show. Body language imedunga mini skirt nani short. Call the president bluff, wakani kamya nani so. I'm a director now, lights, camera, money shot. I'm king now. I mean, who would have guessed? Would you ain't no man cast bana? Who judge a bless? Now furthermore, crew ya crew that day. I was shocked, both hands go chest. Come on, Mbappe. I'm back to business. I'm back to business. I'm back to business. Kitungu tatu watini mbao buda. I'm back to business. I'm back to business. I'm back to business. I'm back to business. Mandizi kumi atini tao buda. I'm back to business.
Welcome back. Now we're getting to this Albert Ojwang trial. We're discussing justice and accountability. The courtroom is now becoming a place where the public is hearing evidence that raises questions far beyond an individual case. The issue is what happens when those institutions themselves come under scrutiny. Before we get into the findings of the court pertaining this case, let's remember who Albert Ojwang is. He was a teacher, he was a blogger, he was a husband, a father from Homer Bay. He expressed his opinions on governance and current affairs just like we all do. There's nothing special about this. In June 6, 2025, last year, Ojwang was arrested in Homer Bay after Deputy Inspector General Eliud Lagat filed a complaint alleging his name has been tarnished. Now, what has been uncovered in court is that at least 6 police officers were charged with Ojwang's murder, including former Central Police Station OCS Samson Talam and Constable James Mukwana. Now, the footage shows officers changing into civilian clothes, doors being covered with a cloth, and then multiple people moving in and out of the cell. Moments later, in a different footage, one man leaves the cell with what appears to be a blood-stained hands. Now, officers led by Talam, in another in the next footage was in court, carried Ojwang's motionless body out of the cell before he was rushed to hospital. One of the officers, named James Mukwana, said, verbatim, I received instructions from OCS Talam saying, DIG Lagat had ordered that we discipline Albert Ojwang. The OCS said that we should punish him and leave him with hospitable injuries, but the inmates who gave the job overdid the job. The president had promised Kenyans that extrajudicial killings in 2022 when he was campaigning and abductions would have no place in this government. So in the wake of the in the wake of the torture and death of Albert Ojwang in police custody, the question is simple. Was that promise broken? Or was it that it was never true to begin with? Tell us in the comments. I think that's something that we need to ponder upon, even when we are electing new MPs, a new president, a new deputy president. What is their track record? What have they said to the public? What have they promised? Because this is serious. Our sovereignty is being abused. And from the question of accountability, we move into another story raising serious questions about government, obviously the law, the right of citizens to know what is happening in their own country. Consent, transparency, the controversy surrounding the quarantine facility in Laikipia. I mean, it sits at an intersection of public health, international cooperation, court orders, personal data. Let's unpack this. We had, in our previous shows, we had unpacked what had happened, stating, well, we just found out, I think it was leaked, basically. We actually found out from where did we found this information from? Was it the US government that actually broke the news instead of our government, instead of our president telling us that, they're going to establish a Ebola quarantine facility? And even before that, they needed our consent. Now, 7 American aid workers are currently quarantined at the facility in Laikipia that is now operating despite a court order suspending activity there until there was a final ruling issued. We were all passionate against this facility because we had 0 reported cases of Ebola. And then the political class saying that, there's going to be an emergency. Well, no, actually, you're going to create an emergency by actually having these people who are being quarantined which we did not consent to in Laikipia, in our country. And residents in Laikipia protested the decision, saying that this arrangement had no consent from Kenyans. At least one person lost their lives during the protests. And you remember the CS of Health, the AG, previously failed to appear in court pertaining this case, with Duale facing the possibility of a 15-month jail term without bail. And he later apologized to the court, and now he's scot-free. Now, this is interesting. The Laikipia County told the High Court recently that it only learned about the Ebola facility through the US government. And let me put this plainly, that the county is not prepared should the virus spread from the facility. I mean, this is ridiculous. Now, in tandem with that, what I saw this deal, it's called a unibilateral deal. We also discussed this in our previous shows, how the US government gives these specifically African countries unusual MOUs, these health agreements, which come in exchange of data or minerals. Now, just recently, last week recently, there was a $2.5 billion health partnership signed between Kenya and obviously the US, which runs from 2026 to 2032. We discussed at depth what it meant if when we signed this deal, that it would give the US access to our biological material and genetic sequence data for 25 years. And the question is, the High Court suspended this implementation after it was challenged by Senator Okiya Mtata and the Consumer Federation of Kenya, who argued that it violated the Data Protection Act, the Digital Health Act, and the Health Act. Now, it brings us back to the same central question: consent and privacy. Who owns the data? Who controls it? What exactly is it being used for? Who has access to it? Why is this deal being signed when it's been suspended by the High Court, when we have not as a country consented to this decision? Why is our data being shared? A lot of questions here. Now, this political absenteeism that we also saw during the finance bill being assented into law, where you had only 40 MPs voting no to the finance bill. The Wajir North MP Fatuma Jihao recently visited her constituency for the first time in 4 years. Now, she was met with chants of one term from locals. She's treating her constituency as if it's the World Cup. I saw a funny comment saying that she's doing her job online. Surely. How can you visit your constituency for the first time in 4 years? How can you be so physically absent and so distant from the people whom you're supposed to represent in parliament and still claim to understand their everyday realities? And I think the absurdity of this, from what I've observed when it comes to these politicians visiting their counties, is that how flagrant and how jarring it is when they arrive in choppers and big cars, but most of the time choppers, when in areas where basic infrastructure remains severely lacking. We were talking about they do not have access to water, education, food, healthcare. And she said back in July 2025, verbatim, even if it means importing votes from Somalia, we will do it. We must rig the election for William Ruto in 2027. The people of Wajir, you have another opportunity to vote in someone who cares about your constituency, who cares about your people. I mean, if you have someone who is flagrantly admitting that they will still vote for next year's presidential elections, again, it's a dance here. You can't just point at the politicians, because sometimes the politicians are a mirror of the society, isn't it? So vote in. I think we have established that All Kalau has set a precedent that they will vote in whoever they choose to, but based off of their track record. I don't believe Samuel had, I don't believe, to my knowledge, that he had as much resources as what we saw being pumped into this constituency. Now, before the break, we finally turn into football, because football is often presented as the thing that brings the world together, but the sport is also deeply political, deeply emotional, and sometimes incredibly divisive. The reaction to Spain versus Argentina showed how much football can become more than the game itself. Now, we'll get into why so many people wanted Argentina to lose after the break.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Our radio.
Yo, Motif, turn me up on them headphones, bro. What up? Yes, Bon. 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 Imwaka nimejam na sijali. Aswa nimekam na makali. Naona mafan wana swali. Snitch na run kwa askari. Look me napiga hatari. Oops, nishalipa mahari. Dem nishapata wa kumari. Mama sita jo ni chupa shinda zari. Minko na flow kali kali. Miupiga show mbali mbali. Minko na dona magari. Una hate na una soko mshwari. Dapiga kolabo na fali. Then goma na dola kabari. Aro boy kan kaka jua kali. Play K ijo na sita fadhali. Nyajo watu wangu wa senali. Season ni yetu msiwari. Minshapa shabari. Ule kijana hodari. Lazima tuishi kifahari. Doni na links na Omari. Beast pia napiga na pasaris. Veve na shikisha na maari.
2020 tuko key.
Yes, Bana.
BNM na OG.
Yes, Bana.
Itabidi mumeti.
Yes, Bana.
Justice in your committee.
Yes, Bana.
And they got nothing on we. Jogo wa shamba na wika mujini.
Yes, Bana.
Manotisi mashilingi.
Yes, Bana.
Kuna mashore kwa wingi. Marijuana pondi kona.
Yes, Bana.
Bogi mzima inachoma.
Yes, Bana.
Inatupandisha chopa.
Yes, Bana.
In the city sing your hope.
Yes, Bana.
Marijuana pondi kona.
Yes, Bana.
Bogi mzima inachoma.
Yes, Bana.
Inatupandisha chopa.
Yes, Bana.
In the city sing your hope.
Buda si ball kalukaku. Yes, Bana. Mtami uchill na mafiatu. Yes, Bana. Gangsta timba ndo kiatu. Yes, Bana. Tunapiga jinja na shaku. Yes, Bana. Niko na mangoma za power. Wanuliza mbona madawa. Vile nimeshona visawa. Fly niko na mabawa. Mini rasto ni ready to sina. Na nishai kuwa tegi masimba. Najua mapredi na jina. Either way hamuwezi kunshinda. Ukikuja ismi kamanda. Try kuni dispia ni blanda. Form ni mazishi na matanga. Na misi na beef na ohanga. Ohanga unitaki kwa nini? Mbona sifanye track na mimi? Tutop hizi chati za mjini. After that you'll be happy amini. Stack interviews za gazeti. Maswali za ufala zileti. Miuomba kandinyi wanzeki. Gotka Ronaldo na Messi. Nani mwingine kama mimi? Mafta na paka marini. Gatchinda Rosa na Timi. New rap kama Hova na nyinyi. Shinski kolabo tufanyi. Tushike from Dago tukani. Intro brother semanyi. Usitry kunishwa iwezekani. Huda simu wa shiki. Anadhani mina try kumpiga miti. Nina wife jo sipendi zo kiki. I'm done with this shit Joriti.
2020 tuko key. BNM na OG. Itabidi mumeti. Justice in your committee. And they got nothing on we. Jogo wa shamba na wika mujini. Manotisi mashilingi. kuna mashore kwa wingi. Marijuana pondi kona,
Yes, bana.
bogi mzima inachoma,
Yes, bana.
inatupandisha chopa.
Yes, bana.
In the city sindio hopa.
Yes, bana.
Marijuana pondi kona,
Yes, bana.
bogi mzima inachoma,
Yes, bana.
inatupandisha chopa.
Yes, bana.
In the city sindio hopa.
Yes, bana.
2020 tuko key, BNM na OG, itabidi mumeti, juu sisi ndio committee, and they got nothing on we, joko wa shamba na wika mujini,
Yes, bana.
manotisi mashilingi,
Yes, bana.
kuna mashore kwa wingi, marijuana pondi kona,
Yes, bana.
bogi mzima inachoma,
Yes, bana.
inatupandisha chopa,
Yes, bana.
in the city sindio hopa,
Yes, bana.
marijuana pondi kona,
Yes, bana.
bogi mzima inachoma,
Yes, bana.
inatupandisha chopa.
Yes, bana.
In the cities in your heart.
Yes, bana.
Yes, bana. Yes, bana. 125, 1960. Yes, bana.
What a jam. I am enjoying the playlist today. I hope you are too. Now, for the last segment, one of the most interesting stories surrounding the World Cup was not simply who people wanted to win, but how strongly so many people wanted Argentina to lose. Actually, in the comments below, let us know who you were supporting and why. Like, be specific. Why did you want Spain to win and Argentina to lose? Now, for many fans, this wasn't just about Spain versus Argentina. It's the growing perception that Argentina had benefited from the favorable refereeing throughout the tournament. Now, it's that the referees were being foul while playing particularly physical and sometimes aggressive style of football. Now, the sentiment became even stronger during the finals. So statistically, Spain actually dominated the match. They had 68% possession to Argentina's 32%. And Argentina failed to register a single shot on target in 120 minutes, which means that Spain controlled the game. Argentina struggled to make meaningful attacking opportunities, and yet the conversation after the match was dominated by refereeing. That's how it was perceived. Now, many viewers felt that other repeated fouls, particularly Argentina, had not been punished consistently, and then there was the behavior after the whistle. Now, usually when the match ends, there's usually a display of camaraderie amongst the teams, yeah? But what I watched after the game was a bit, there's usually some sportsmanship, but this time Argentina seemed a little bit far more aggressive than usual. Not, obviously, now, this, one cannot say that this proves that Argentina received a favorable treatment from referees, but when you combine the perception of inconsistent officiating, repeated physical challenges, complaints over decisions, and aggressive post-match behavior, I think it becomes easier to understand why fans were rooting against Argentina. Did you guys actually truly support Spain? I know Spain is historically has been actually quite a strong team. I don't watch football, keenly, but I am aware that Spain is actually quite a strong team. Now, the World Cup controversies, disputes over things like concerns like ticket prices being quite expensive for the average person, visa restrictions, tournament organizations. I saw recently how teams like Iran would have to move. They would just have to take plane tickets over and over, which I think for the team, it's exhausting, right? But it wasn't the same for Argentina, allegedly. Now, specifically with Argentina, there seemed to be a growing sense among fans that the team had become the tournament villain. And perhaps the question is, were people genuinely supporting Spain, or were they simply desperate to see Argentina lose? The producer is smiling because I'm going to ask her who she was supporting after this. Now, you guys tell us in the comments, who were you supporting? And was it a genuine support for Spain? Or Did you just want to see Argentina lose so bad because of the fouls and the unfair judgments and verdicts by the referee? Tell us in the comments below. And guys, can you imagine, just like that? That's our time for today. Thank you so much for riding with me. Again, being part of the conversation. Until next time, I've been your lovely host, Flo. And please remember to continue to keep questioning, keep learning, keep the conversation going. But do not forget to enjoy the little things too. Peace.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Our radio. This party don't stop. This party don't stop. This party don't stop. This party don't stop.
Here we go. See, I'm loving what you do to me, so if it's cool, let me know. We can kick it to the VIP because the party don't stop till 3. Meaning you're in the crib all over me. CIBTRIPPER, and we are CAMP to the moolah. We blow this bazooka. It's crazy, baby, how I'm on you like Slim to shit it. Yeah. So let me see your head bob, cause this party don't stop.
Cause tonight, you better bring somebody to the club.
To the club.
Cause tonight, we're calling everybody, so get up. Alright. This party don't stop. Don't stop. This party don't stop. It goes on and this party don't stop. Don't stop. This party don't stop. It goes on and on.
Let me give your body a job, employ a new technique. Work it, rock it like a cradle in bed, I need a free. Wait a minute, let me clarify. The way you maneuver, I can't deny. So scream from the top of your lungs and maybe I'll pacify ya. Take over, my baby, it ain't over. No fat lady, navigate to the floor, make your way. Dilate, give me more A-OK. It ain't fair, the way you're shaking it and moving it, baby. Make them stare, step up in the building, everybody and go up. Then it's say this.
You better bring somebody to the club.
To the club.
Cause tonight, we're calling everybody, so get up. Alright. This party don't stop. Don't stop. This party don't stop. It goes on and this party don't stop. Don't stop. This party don't stop. It goes on and on.
So get your hands up. Get ready to party on the dance floor, jamming till 6 in the morning.
So get your drinks up.
Don't spill on nobody. Hit the bar, get some girls, cause the bottles we poppin'. But I'm a little bit too bubbly, so all the ladies look lovely, but can't tell if they ugly, cause someone get these girls off of me. Meet me by the bar, baby girl, around 3 now. Let's go get some shots. Drink up, cause you know the party don't stop.
Cause tonight, you better bring somebody to the club.
To the club.
Cause tonight, we're calling everybody, so get up. Alright. This party don't stop. Don't stop. This party don't stop. It goes on and this party don't stop. Don't stop. This party don't stop. It goes on and on.